Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into some incredibly eye-opening investigative reporting by author Yogesh Sapkali. We're going to decode a viral internet life hack and, more importantly, uncover a very real, honestly kind of terrifying, silent threat to the car parked right outside your home at this exact second. If you've got a modern vehicle, you absolutely need to stick around for this.
Okay, so let's get right into it. There was this wild post on X recently that totally blew up among Indian car owners. It talked about a guy who literally wrapped the key fob of his 12-lock car in a cheap piece of standard kitchen aluminum foil. And no, he wasn't doing it because the key was broken or, for some weird superstition. He did it to stop a highly sophisticated, modern theft that's happening right under our noses.
So naturally, this sparked a massive online debate. Some folks immediately called it fear-mongering, total viral nonsense just designed to get clicks. Others panicked and started buying up signal-blocking bags before they even finished reading the thread. But, as Yogesh Sapkali points out in his reporting, the truth is kind of right in the middle. The post isn't a hoax, but it's definitely not the whole story either. So as we go through this explainer, I really want you to stop and ask yourself, where exactly are your car keys sitting right now?
All right, let's look at Section 1, Anatomy of a Relay Attack, and see exactly how this stealthy crime actually works.
Because listen, this is not your grandfather's car theft. Thieves aren't out there smashing windows or wrestling with crowbars anymore. Instead, they're using a digital megaphone to amplify a whisper. It's a two-person heist, and it's brilliant in a very scary way. Step 1. A thief stands right by your front door or an outer wall holding a relay amplifier. This device captures the super faint, unique radio signal your key fob is constantly broadcasting inside your house. Step 2. That device amplifies the signal and shoots it over to an accomplice standing right next to your parked car. Step 3. Your car's system gets completely tricked. It thinks the authorized key is right there in the thief's hand. It quietly unlocks, the push to start activates, and they just drive off. No drama, zero noise.
And here is the absolute kicker, the terrifying speed of this whole operation. From the moment that first thief catches your key signal outside your door to the moment they're quietly driving your car away into the night, we are talking under 30 seconds. It is literally that fast. And because there's absolutely no sign of forced entry, you wake up the next morning completely clueless.
And if you're thinking, that's just some crazy internet rumor, well, look at the data. The Association of British Insurers found that in 2024, these sophisticated relay attacks accounted for a massive 70% of all stolen vehicles in the UK. 70%. Insurers are paying out over £1.2 billion a year. And while we might not have the exact equivalent data for India just yet, think about the absolute explosion of push-to-start features in mid-range and premium SUVs here. We're talking the Hyundai Creta, Tata Nexon, Kia, MG, Toyota. The exposure here is growing incredibly fast.
Which brings us to Section 2, Does aluminum foil work? Let's dig into the science behind that 10-rupee hack. Believe it or not, the whole aluminum foil trick isn't just a meme. It's grounded in real, documented science. It essentially acts as a crude Faraday cage. This is a concept pioneered way back in 1836 by the scientist Michael Faraday. Basically, a Faraday cage is a structure that completely blocks electromagnetic signals from passing through. So, by wrapping your key, you're trying to trap those radio signals so they can't escape the walls of your home and reach the thief's amplifier.
But, and this is a massive but, here is where the viral post completely misleads you. A single, loose, casually crinkled sheet of kitchen foil is going to have gaps. It's going to leak signals. Plus, foil that's handled a lot develops microscopic holes. In reality, the magic words are tightly and multiple layers. And honestly, your absolute best defense isn't foil at all. It's a dedicated Faraday pouch. For like 500 to 1500 rupees, you can grab a small bag lined with a specialized metallic mesh that completely and reliably blocks all those fields.
Let's transition to Section 3, Automakers Share the Blame. Let's talk about why we're even dealing with this in the first place.
Because you might be wondering, why on earth am I the one buying aftermarket pouches for a 40 lakh SUV, right? Well, Sapkali really hits the nail on the head here. It's a totally legitimate frustration. Despite years of warnings, lots of automakers are still relying on outdated cryptography, essentially ignoring the problem right out of the box. Thankfully, some manufacturers are finally waking up with software defenses. Tesla gives you a pin-to-drive feature on their screens. BMW and a few others use motion-sensing key fobs that automatically go to sleep and stop transmitting when they aren't moving. Others are moving to ultra-wideband technology to measure distance precisely. If your car has any of these options, you need to dive into your settings and enable them literally right now. Moving on to Section 4, your layered defense strategy. It's time to talk about building your actual protection.
The guy with the foil, he definitely had the right instinct. But since these thieves have gone totally digital, we need a smarter approach. Sapkali recommends a pragmatic, layered strategy. First things first, stop leaving your keys on the hook right by the front door. Literally just moving your keys to an interior room like a bedroom or a kitchen drawer completely breaks the thief's signal chain. Distance is your best friend here. Combine that distance with a certified Faraday pouch, ideally bought locally so you can test it yourself. Turn on those software security features we just discussed, and honestly, don't underestimate a good old-fashioned physical steering wheel lock. Since these thieves want to be gone in 30 seconds flat, a physical barrier usually makes them just walk away to find an easier target. Oh, and always keep your vehicle's software updated for the latest patches.
Also, just a quick piece of info to keep handy. If you ever do find yourself a victim of this kind of high-tech, silent crime, or really any cyber fraud, you can report it directly to the National Cybercrime Helpline. Just dial 1930. It's an absolutely critical resource in this crazy age of digital theft.
We've seen how a digital whisper can literally steal a massive piece of machinery in seconds without breaking a single pane of glass. That viral post might not have had the perfect solution, but it brought some much-needed awareness to a massive vulnerability. A little bit of awareness, a solid Faraday pouch, and a few changed habits are really all it takes to keep your car safe. Which leaves me with one final, very important question for you to answer. So, where are you planning to leave your car keys tonight? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Stay alert and stay safe out there.